Okay, perfect. Right, so hello everyone and welcome back to the IATiP interview series where we're interviewing members of the Irish aquaculture community to find out more about the latest research and innovation going on in this area. Today I'm joined by Rosaria Piseri, who's co-founder or founder and CEO of Algaran. Now based in Donegal, Algaran produces a wide range of health and beauty products which are produced using seaweed. So Rosaria, thank you very much for joining me today.
Hi, thank you to you.
Thank you very much. So I was wondering if you'd be able to describe your product and tell me a bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, the company started in 2004, but I had already about 8 years experience in the seaweed business, which I started in Italy. I moved to Ireland in 2001, and then I started my own company then. First, I studied seaweed furtherly for 4 years, and then I started producing products. Actually, maybe the production was more to try funding my further researches. So all these years I have been researching all the time, just to make the products better and safer, and and seaweed cleaner and so on.
That's great. And tell me more about this product and where it is in the Irish sector. So of course it's produced by seaweed, so it'll be of interest to Irish aquaculture producers as well.
Yeah, obviously my research has made me try to find machinery that would help processing seaweed. Seaweed, maybe in the year 2001, was much cleaner than now. The sea was less polluted in Ireland, and now it's getting more and more polluted like everywhere else in the world. So I thought that there was urgency in the sector to get the seaweed clean from heavy metals. Not only because, it would be nice to have a clean seaweed coming from Ireland, but also because the legislation, the regulation will be more and more, difficult to get all the proper permissions. Okay, there is already in 2018 there was a recommendation issued by the EU proposing a limit in inorganic arsenic. So I thought this is the urgency, because there is already a recommendation, and sometimes there might be companies stopped to produce because there is too much inorganic arsenic. So I decided, okay, maybe I try to propose, first of all, to make trials and transform my washing plant, which is a small one, I don't have a need of a lot of seaweed, into an industrial decontamination system. So I did trials, I bought machinery, I had confirmation from the test, and now I can prove that washing the seaweed in fresh water, obviously clean fresh water, with my ultrasound system for 5 minutes will make the same job as if you soak the seaweed in fresh water for 2 hours. So there is already kind of a system. You soak the seaweed for up to 2 hours, and then you take it out and the heavy metals are left in the water. But in an industrial production, you can't wait 2 hours for every batch of seaweed. So the ultrasound would solve, and is solving, the problem, because you need only 5 minutes.
Which is incredible. So it sounds like there's been a lot of kind of refining going on in this process over well, since 2004, really, since we got started. It's incredible. And I suppose all that research has gone into the products you're now producing. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the products you produce.
Yeah, I produce, I produce cosmetics using my own seaweed extract, also with an ultrasound extractor, which is very different from any other ultrasound machine present in Ireland. even in university. Mine has different parameters, so it's made for seaweed. I do my own extract, and I produce cosmetics. I produce food as well, because with some of the extract I produce snacks. They are all obviously exempt of any heavy metals. And I also dry seaweed and sell them in packets, but this is not a very profitable market, so I just do it for the one who requests. But I have now a big customer who is willing to import large quantities of frozen seaweed. So I made some trials with the help of a fish industry in Kilibex, and I tried production in a very large scale of a few tons, and my system works. So,
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So, and that was kind of my next question, like how does it compare to other solutions on the market?
Yeah, the solution is fresh water, of course. Yeah. But for example, if you want to extract some iodine from the seaweed, because some seaweed is really too high in iodine, you need probably slightly warm water. But with the ultrasound, it's not necessary, because the ultrasound is also slightly warming the water. So you don't need extra electricity to heat the water.
Which is fantastic. I suppose, and I guess sustainability in the area is such a big thing that anything you can do to make it greener is fantastic. Yeah.
And then when you have the water with the heavy metals that you extracted from the seaweed, we have a system to dispose it. So we practically take out all the fresh water and dispose it normally, and then all the rest will be disposed in a special way.
That's fantastic. And it sounds like you've really got everything refined and sorted, but what are your next goals now in terms of research, or what are the next steps for you?
Okay, well, first of all, I want more validation. So I am in touch with the university who inspired me for doing this, which is in Italy. And we are completing the validation for this process, transform it into a continuous system, so we can get the IP.
Yeah.
And then ultrasound can be applied for other reasons. So the next one will be an industrial process of extraction from seaweed with ultrasound, because I have a small one, but industrially I cannot produce big quantities. And then ultrasound to help the dehydration of the seaweed, which is possible. And finally, an ultrasound system to help the refrigeration.
Okay, so there's a lot going on. Busy few months ahead for you, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's so interesting. And my last question really is that if members of the aquaculture community in Ireland or anywhere really wanted to find out more about your products and your work, where can they contact you, or where can they find out more?
Well, the email, I always get all the email from info@algaran.com. They can obviously, get the website and see what am I producing at the moment. But if they want to know more about the application of my system to their existing system, this is also possible. They don't have to buy the whole plant again.
Yeah.
They can add some tools to the existing washing plant if they have any.
Yeah, fantastic. There's a lot of food for thought there, I think. Rosaria, thank you very much for joining us today. I don't know, have you anything to add to that? You've given us a really great overview of everything you're doing, and it was great to get some insights into your work. And I'm sure there'll be members of the aquaculture community reaching out to you very soon to find out more about all of this. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for the.
Thank you very much.